What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, back from the depths of East London. Happy to be back in North London, not going to lie.
Definitely.
But look, it wasn't a great game by Spurs by any stretch of the imagination. And funnily enough, I think our first half was actually better than our second half today.
Yeah.
What did you make out of it today? Because I thought it was just really poor today.
Look, I said before the game that I said it consistently. West Ham are turning up today. We all know that was going to happen.
Yeah, we all knew that.
That was always going to happen. It was all about whether we can match their fight and their desire. And I felt like there are moments in the game where we didn't. I felt like first half we were playing a very similar to first half we've seen this season. Kind of looking dangerous on the counter, but conceding a lot of possession. Although we did have quite a bit of possession without doing much with it.
65% possession today.
Yeah, but it felt like when we had it, West Ham was sitting very deep, and unless we were giving it to Perisic, there was really nothing to hurt them. And then the only time we really looked dangerous on transition, when West Ham got settled, we kind of looked a bit toothless. West Ham, when they broke on us, I'd have to say a few times when Antonio hit the post, they had a few openings, but nothing too much troubling. When we went 1-0 up, it wasn't like a massive surprise that we made one of those counters count. And I think we did start the second half as well. We actually looked quite a bit in control. Like Kane was getting in behind, and Kulusevski was causing trouble, even though it was only 5 minutes in. We looked good in the opening section, but I don't know what happened. And I don't know whether it had something to do with Højbjerg's injury or something. But Højbjerg
seemed to throw us off, didn't it?
Yeah, Højbjerg kept going down. He went down 3 or 4 times. He never even ended up going off in the end. But there was one moment where he went down, and then he came back on the pitch, and then it kind of, for some reason, it took us a minute to get going again, and then we were playing it around the back, and Lloris puts out for a throw, and then we just switch off. Switch off, and it really pissed me off because
passing out the back today was the worst I've seen it for a long time.
But the thing is, it wasn't actually a massive problem up until that moment, and then when that happened, that happened in like the 55th minute. And then we kind of started to fall apart. They really started to press Sanchez, Emerson really strongly, and then we resorted to going long, not getting too much joy, occasionally getting on second balls, but
everything at the back just seemed so panicked today in the latter stage of that second half. Sanchez was booting it or misplacing a pass. Davis as well was shocking, playing out from the back. Emerson wasn't really doing much to help out. Dyer wasn't really doing much either. I mean, it was just so hard to watch that in the last 20-30 minutes, like us trying to play it out the back. Every time West Ham came to press us, we basically shut ourselves and gave the ball away. Literally every time.
Yeah, especially when they gave it to Sanchez. I felt like Sanchez was like a trigger for them.
Yeah.
I felt like when they gave it to Sanchez, all of a sudden, you saw them all of a sudden. All right, now we go. Now we get in position. It's on Sanchez, and that's a good plan, to be fair.
Yeah, and I was saying to you through the game, like that should be their plan. That's what we would do if they had it on the other side. So
yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem that we have when we're playing.
Lloris as well, by the way. Distribution today was shocking.
Yeah, but look, we've known that about Lloris. That's give or take. But I feel like when we have Lloris, when you have Sanchez, Lloris, and Emerson all on one side, it becomes a bit of an issue because there's a serious lack of technical ability there between them. And unless they've got midfielders that you can give the ball to and relieve the pressure with. I mean, Basuma should be that guy. Maybe he's still got to grow into it. Look, he obviously got his first start today. Got an early yellow card for a bit frustrating. I think that did hamper his game a bit, that early yellow card. I did see some nice composed moments from him, but also maybe not enough risk taking, not enough confidence on the ball to kind of drive forward and have that confidence to play some long passes and maybe some line breaking passes. And maybe that will come with time.
Yeah,
to be honest, played a bit safe.
I expected a bit more from Basuma today. I mean, I think he was okay, but that's about it. And I expected a lot more from him, being a bit more adventurous going forward.
I saw potential though.
Yeah,
I definitely saw potential with what he can bring to us. And maybe, I don't know as well, with Højbjerg's injury. Look, Højbjerg was a really weird one because he went down looking awful right at the end of the first half, and then he got back up, and then We came out at half time, and he's 3 or 4 times.
He wasn't moving right until the last 5-10 minutes of the game. And like, surely
and his passing wasn't right.
No, and like, he's such an important player for us. Surely you take him off as a precaution. You have to.
Yeah, it was very strange. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether there's going to be any long-lasting effects with him being injured or anything. But it didn't. It was very strange how 3 or 4 times he went down and he still wasn't being taken off, and he still didn't look like. I didn't think he was awful, but he just didn't look like the same Højbjerg when he's sharp and he's on it, and that probably hampered us quite a bit as well in that midfield battle.
Key decision in the game, the penalty obviously that got ruled out by VAR. I mean, I haven't seen it, but people have said that it was a stone wall, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it.
No, I haven't seen the replay. I've seen Conte doesn't seem happy about it. From what I gather, Questel had his arm very high and it hit his head then onto his arm. You can probably say it's harsh, but as well, if the referee's given it already, like, is it enough of a clear and obvious error? If his hand's
you
high,
never see those overturned.
If his hand's high, why is it a clear and obvious error? Like, I don't know. So,
but on the ref, by the way, I thought he was shocking today. Yeah. Every decision was going West Ham's way. Literally every single decision.
I agree. I think he had a really, really poor game. And
who was the ref today? Do you know?
I know his face. I don't remember his name. So look, it was disappointing. I think second half as well. So once we gave away that goal, which was such a shit, silly goal to give away. Then all of a sudden the momentum shifted and we're on the back foot. And we did have moments where we were penning them in, but we didn't look creative enough whatsoever to that we would look like we were going to score or anything. And then late in the game, you have to say we got away with it a bit right at the end.
That's an understatement. That's an understatement. They had 2 or 3, really clear-cut chances where they got to be doing better from. But you know, we also had a few chances.
Yeah,
but
Kane had that chance.
Nowhere near as big as their chances.
Kane had that chance with the volley. Perisic rolled one across the face of goal. So we had our moments. But I guess you'd have to say, on the balance of play, I think a draw's a fair result. We can't complain about it. I don't think they deserve to win necessarily, and I don't think we deserve to win at all. Which, look, when you go away in a London derby away at West Ham, you've got to expect a difficult game. I think we've all disappointed that. It's not necessarily the result, which is obviously disappointing, but the performance, I guess, especially when you're 1-0 up and in control, I think. And I guess we were our own worst enemies more than in this game, because West Ham were definitely there, beatable today. That's for sure.
I thought, and I kept saying through the game, like, let's sort our shit out because West Ham are here for the taking today, and I genuinely believe that.
Yeah,
and
they were beatable.
At the end of the day, we were really poor. We were really poor today. In terms of a few positives today, I thought Kulusevski in the first half played really well again, kind of tired out the game in the second half.
He still had some good moments
in
the
the
second half.
And when Richarlison came on, I mean, he was head and shoulders pretty much.
For me, man of the match was Spurs man of the match was Perisic. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he played again. He was our shining light. He was the one making all the attacking moves. Defensively, he was pretty decent as well. But there's one thing which was really went under the radar, which he's really good at, is when the ball comes into him, he's very good at playing these nice one-touch passes into feet, and
making that quick run.
Yeah,
for the
quick run. He always knows where to pass it to. He's got a good. He's got such a great football brain. Yeah, it's brilliant. And so for me, and obviously his another really good cross from him led to the penalty situation. And I think as well, whenever he got one isolated, him and Soufal, he hadn't been beaten with Soufal. So he was really good. Perisic, he was probably my best player. But other than that, everyone kind of underperformed a bit. Yeah, Kulusevski was pretty good. Son wasn't great. He had that one moment, didn't he? But he was strong goal. But he tried to get a touch with his head into feet, and he just overhits it. And Son of last season probably gets that into feet and gets a shot off at least, and wasn't able to do it. But he didn't take him off. He took Kulusevski off. Yeah, and Richarlison had a very good cameo as well. You have to say that.
And within seconds, with that dummy over and he really tried to make something happen today, and even got in another scrap today, Richarlison. So
look, there's a lot of people unhappy right now with the performance, and maybe as well because we haven't been performing that well so far this season. But if we're looking,
there's 2 ways you can look at it.
It's big picture time. If we're looking at the big picture,
there's 2 ways you can look at it. You can look at it like we were at the beginning of last season, which I completely disagree with. That people are saying, oh, it's Nuno Ball playing badly and winning a few games, then we're going to go on and lose. But you've got to look at the positives right now. You've got to look at the positives. This new signings are not fully integrated yet. Yes, we are not playing good football right now, but I genuinely believe that once we click, we're going to be such a handful. And even without clicking, 3 wins and 2 draws in every single game apart from Forest where we lost last season.
Exactly, and the two draws we've had at away at Chelsea and away at West Ham, 2 of our notoriously toughest places to go during the season. 2 teams as well who always up their game against us. Who are like you can see with Chelsea as well. Look at the struggles they're having now. They played us, they up their game, and yet they're not that good. West Ham as well, 3 defeats, and they come up against us and they up their game. So, look, it's no surprise to me that these 2 results have happened. I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, 2 away draws in big London derbies is not the end of the world. I guess the more concerning thing is the performance, but in terms of
do you think we're getting away with them though at the moment in terms of the chances that we're conceding and the chances that they're not putting away?
I mean, I think Chelsea, yes. I think today could have gone either way. I mean, we could have taken some chances, and they probably had a few better ones, but it could have gone either way, in my opinion, today. I don't think it was as clear-cut as the Chelsea game where we were thoroughly outplayed for most of the game. So I wouldn't say we got away with it with a draw today. I would have said if we would have won, we would have got away with it, but I don't think a draw's getting away with it today for me. So, look, 11 points out of 15. Still, hopefully, look, I am not gonna lie, I do want another signing tomorrow. I think the most concerning thing, obviously defence is very concerning in terms of maybe without Romero how bad we look playing out the back. I mean, defensively we still look okay.
By the way, we were talking about Sanchez and in the predicted lineup saying if you're playing like that you have to stay in the team. I mean, now Romero comes back.
Yeah, Romero comes back in, and 100%. And if you can't pass out the back like Romero can, then you come out of the team. That's just reality. I still think defensively he's pretty good, and I still think defensively today he was okay. But the problem was his on the ball was hurting us defensively,
massively,
and that's a problem. We better get. I really hope we get another attacking option tomorrow. Just for the fact is we only had Richarlison again on the bench as an attacking option, and I know Lucas Moura was injured, but that's not good enough. If you look at the other teams that we're in and around us, their attacking options are a lot better than us. So many more.
What would you say if the window shuts right now with the signings that we've made? No more signings. What would you say?
I'd still say we've improved 3 positions for me, and then we've got a bit of depth in other positions. So I'll probably say 7 out of 10. But consider, I think it's disappointing considering we got all those signings in early and we kind of stopped. And now you're seeing a lot of other teams around us go heavy late in the window, and we're kind of chasing our tails a bit. That's the worry. But I still think, regardless, I still think we've had a good window. I still think not only have we got some good players in, we've also got a lot of crap out. We've got to remember how much crap we had in this squad, and we've done a decent job.
But they're all going to be back next season.
Yeah, but at least they're gone for now, and that's important.
Next season we're going to be back to square one pretty much.
No, who knows? If they have good seasons, I mean, it's too. Next season is that you can't predict what's going to happen next season now. It's impossible. So there's no point thinking about it until later.
The way I look at the window, I think we've improved in all over the pitch. Yeah. Literally all over the pitch, I think. I think the depth is much better as well.
Just haven't seen it yet, but we have.
When you look at the squad and you see there's 2 gaps there in terms of players that we can bring in, one homegrown, one non-homegrown. For me, it's not good enough not to fill those spaces. We need to fill every space in the squad, in my opinion. And I think that centre back, we really need a centre back. We really need an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, I think we have
or a right winger or something before the end of the window.
I think we have to make peace when we're not getting a centre back.
I know, but it's so frustrating because you can see the flaws there. You can see it with your own eyes.
Maybe Longley can do. Maybe he can be the one. I'm just hoping. But look, in terms of
having said that, I agree with you.
Mm.
Right now, it's a 7. If we were to bring in a right wing and a centre back, you're probably looking at a 9 or a 10.
If we bring
in one of them, if we bring in a right winger,
maybe an 8.
An 8, I would give it.
Yeah, I think we need another option.
I believe we will bring in.
And even if it is Dan James, as much as I really don't want him, at least he is another option to bring on. And if Dan James running at tired legs, maybe there's something we can do with that. We just need another option because right now it's like we have Richarlison as plan B and then that's it. We don't really have any other options. So we need, especially for all the games coming up, we need another option. So I would say performances are still not there yet. Still a bit concerning. Results are still pretty positive. I think if you asked anyone at the beginning of the season, 11 points out of 15 for the first 5 games, I think we would have taken that. Yeah. So I think unbeaten as well. We'll keep that unbeaten running, and we're unbeaten in North London derby. So in London derby, sorry, not North London. We're unbeaten in London derbies this season. So I think it's on the whole it's positive, but I think the result and performance wasn't great today. But
you know what it is,
in the bigger picture, I think everything's still okay.
Bigger picture, I think things are good, but I think there's a lot of anxiety right now in the fan base because Arsenal are doing so well. They've won every single game of the season. I think if Arsenal I actually genuinely believe, if Arsenal weren't doing so well and they had a poor start to the season, everything would be so rosy right now.
Yeah, but they won't keep up. And look, they're playing well. Don't get me wrong, and they've squeezed past Fulham last 2 games 2-1. But once Europa League kicks in, they've already starting to get injuries now. They're going to drop points. I guarantee you that they're going to start dropping. Arsenal will not be. You can clip this up if you want. Arsenal will not be in a title race this season. I'm guaranteeing you that.
Yeah,
so,
I think everyone knows that.
By looks of things, people aren't so
everyone
sure right
knows
now.
that apart
People
from deluded
so
Arsenal fans.
So,
but look, let's wrap up because we've drawn 1-1 with West Ham. I think that it's important for people to look at the positive things that's going on right now. Unbeaten after 5 games, and we've had tough games as well. Yeah. Chelsea away, West Ham away.
I think people can acknowledge what's going wrong and the faults, but not go overboard. It's not a crisis. Yeah. This isn't everything's not going wrong. This isn't like when we were had Mason and Nuno in charge. Exactly. Everyone we're doing well. 3 wins, 2 draws, yeah, and we haven't got going yet, and that's also a good thing.
Positive.
And we haven't got the signings ingrained yet. So look, I think no reason to panic just yet. Let's just see how things go.
All right, we'll see you all tomorrow for deadline day, but first we'll have our stream in the morning, delving deep into the West Ham game, player ratings, 5 takeaways, and then later on we'll be live for the transfer deadline. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.